Okay, I really wanted to do this stream because it's been a while since I've actually been on Sky, and I actually have some things to correct. I kind of don't like now that everybody on Sky is going to have the name I just stopped going by. Hello, Debu. Debu is Debu. Debu is Debu, except Debu is in fact a girl. Debu is a girl. Holy crap, they're finally bringing the twin elder masks, so me and Vash can match wearing them! Yes! We're gonna actually have them flipped, though. Or something, because they have them backwards. They have them backwards. I don't know why they put them on the wrong sides. The one that's the left is supposed to be the... Oh my god, I'm so excited. Because me and Vash are gonna match with those. That was our whole plan this whole time. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited! Oh my god! That makes me very happy. I am very happy. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I actually will need to be scanning my keyboard QR in a minute, so you will be seeing something weird happen on the screen. You will not be able to scan it. It's not going to be valid by the time you are seeing the stream to, basically, be, like, using it. I lost my train of thought. So what I actually need to do, see, it says Aaron. Yeah, I have actually detransitioned, because I was very misaligned from, It's gonna have me retype it when I press? No. Wait. I don't know what it said, actually, first of all. I didn't even know what it said, and I removed it. And okay, because I need to retype that. Because Vash's is fine. No, it's not. We have to redo both of them. We're gonna have to redo both of them. Okay. Okay, so, we have the Alice door now, too, by the way. So, you guys, if you're friends with us in Sky, you can go up to this thing to, like, view other people's nests. And you can view our nest, even when we're offline, and you can actually, you have full permission to use this. Just as this instrument is right here as well. Full permission, I mean, if I can get it selected. Oh my god. This. No! Oh my god. There. Yeah, you can use that at any time, and you can use our doorway anytime. Yeah, lots of fun. So I'm gonna have to do that again, but I need to finish what I was doing. Vash just got a weird notification. That's his email. I keep forgetting. Hang on. Because we have a bunch of notes and stuff of us typing things out over the years, and we actually have to edit some when we're reposting our shared spaces, because I have detransitioned. Therefore, I do not go by Aaron anymore. I go by Edith. That is not my birth name, by the way. I am not reverting back to my birth name. No, you will not know what my birth name is. I'm not going to say that. But there was this, I got sort of a, divine message download, you could say, that my name is meant to be Edith. So, yeah. So I have to correct everything. Okay. I want to actually type those down. Or, we're gonna go everywhere. Is Days of Feast still going on? Yes, 3 days. Dang, I missed out on like almost the whole thing. It's okay. I've been busy, man. I've been so busy that it hurts. It hurts not playing Sky as much as I used to. Okay, so that says what sucks is I can't put the emojis because the emojis aren't supported, I don't think. So maybe it was a bad idea to do this on stream. But I can't get on Sky on the phone that I have all of our stuff saved on either, because it keeps saying I don't have enough space, so I just have to deal with it, I guess. Sorry. Okay. Now, here comes the fun part. When I tell people that my keyboard broke, or that I'm trying to get my keyboard set up, this is what I'm talking about. So I get on my phone and I have a QR code scanner, and I click this, and then I open the link that it takes me to, and it takes me to a website that is on my phone where I can type on the PS4 from my phone without even trying to type with a controller. So it makes it a lot easier for me. Okay, so now I'm gonna... Oh. I don't know if they fixed this though. I guess we're about to find out. Damn it, they didn't fix it. So I'm gonna have to do it like that. Cool. This is gonna take a while. Now you get to see my creation progress. It's crazy. I want more stuff in here, but it's full. Cool. And away we go. Now I have to find where, what shared spaces are currently available and stuff like that, and then do them accordingly that way. So that's basically what I'm doing now. I don't know why. Oh, I see. Vash couldn't hear me in the stream for a minute. Owie. They took this one away though. This one should always be here. I don't care what anybody thinks. Like, that should always be there. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna do this one because it's the one that's gonna expire soon. the fuck? Cool. Okay, that one doesn't need to be edited. Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I love that so. I love that I could do that. I got to connect Saints Row and Sky in a very, very fun way. Oh, these guys too. They remind me of the big giant heads in Spirited Away. I totally forgot I was trying to get that cape, actually. The only thing that I think is sad about Sky is now everybody's running around collecting currency instead of actually spending time with each other. I think that that's probably the actual issue with the game, is things are too hell-bent on currency to where the very core of the game is actually being lost, which is companionship and cooperation and being friends, because everybody's going, oh, I'm too busy, I gotta go do my dailies, I gotta go do this, I gotta do that, I gotta collect this, I gotta get the wax of that, and I know that that's kind of where you're supposed to be hanging out with people and bonding, but people don't really do that. I always usually see somebody all by their lonesome, you know, honestly, I play by myself most of the time, that, people are just, they're getting currency, and I'm not saying that the currency is an issue, I'm saying that it's too hard to get a good amount of currency without basically spending every second of your playtime getting currency instead of talking to your friends. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Oh my gosh, a giant swan. Oh my god, that's cool. Like, see, these people, they're all by themselves. You got this person taking a nap, and like, it's just, where's the community? I don't know. I'm not growing out of Sky. I'm not gonna stop playing or anything, but I do notice a shift in the community now. It was a lot easier for me to talk to people and make friends in this game a few years ago. I'd say it kind of became harder around 2022 or 2023. And since then it's kind of been downhill, and like literally every time I get on, no one else wants to play with me. Like they literally straight up don't want to play with me. It's not even like a, oh yeah, and I'm just assuming that. No. People literally don't want to play with me. They would literally rather be doing something else. My own friends who also play the game, they don't want to play with me. And the people who I have in my friend constellations, they're always wrapped up with their other friends. They have like a friend crew that always plays the game with them. They are too busy doing dailies, and it's sort of, oh, have you done your dailies already? And it's like, yeah, and they're like, oh, okay, bye, and then they leave, you know. Because it's sort of like, if you haven't done your dailies yet, or already did your dailies, people don't really see much of a point. No, if you've already done your dailies or something, let's say you did them and then a friend joins you right as you finish them, which is a lot of the time how it happens for me, where I will have just turned my dailies in, someone joins and they're like, have you done your dailies? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, oh, okay, bye, because they don't see a point in hanging out with me if we're not going to go do dailies together. So I think that the core value, the core message of Sky has kind of been lost in the mud due to corporate capitalism. And it's not that game company's fault. I'm not going to say that it's their fault. But what I'm going to say is it is the fault of all of the tech bro corporate conglomerates that make it to where nothing really has any value or purpose or incentive anymore unless people are basically getting paid to do it. That like everything costs, everything is monetized, everything has to be like, they're like, okay, there's packs in here. Oh, hang on, I'm trying to, oh, it doesn't show the shop when I open or something. Oh, no, that was because it was telling me there's nothing available. Like, see, why is this scarf $15? What I'm trying to explain is that game company has unfortunately sadly become victim of the same cogs of the machine of the corporate capitalism conglomerate, like, empire, basically, where instead of making memories with friends and bonding, like what they said was the whole point of the game, especially at its peak with, you know, like COVID and all that. People felt more connected than ever because of this game. I mean, COVID is really actually what gave Sky such a big boost, to be honest. I don't know if people realize that. But COVID happening and everybody being stuck in their houses on their phones and computers all day, looking and running into and searching for things to do, just things that can be done, things that connect people through social networks online. And Sky, like, boosted up in popularity through COVID. I joined in, like, the peak of COVID, July of 2020. Like, that was when it was like, oh my god, the peak, the threshold peak of it being just this crazy thing that we didn't know if we were ever going to get out to the other side on. And, you know, we did. We got through it pretty much unscathed, and I think that it's pretty amazing how, I don't have any flight boost. It's pretty amazing how resilient humanity is, you know. But it's also unfortunate that the very core things that made this game have value, because it was what its message really is kind of getting lost. And it's not, again, I really want to extend my understanding and empathy towards that game company. I'm not being, like, a bootlicker by addressing these things, like that it's not really necessarily their fault. They are victim to a system. It doesn't keep them away from the responsibility and accountability that they need to take for the direction that they're taking the game. I love that we have a lot more to do in the game now, but it's just messed up that while they've added so much more in the game to do, because people go, oh, I miss how the game was back in 2019 and 2020. I'm like, I miss the vibe it had, community-wise. That was when I made a bunch of friends. I made a bunch of friends on this game during my first few years. And now I don't talk to anybody on here. I've half thought blocking my entire friends constellation is starting over because of the fact that none of them talk to me, and it makes me feel like they're not valuing me as a friend at my lowest moments, especially earlier in the year when I was about to wind up homeless. And nobody was like, nobody even cared. Nobody was there, and people were joining me even less. And it's sad to see that the game, the community has fallen into this sort of I don't know, some sort of like I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of unfortunate because while yes, there is more to do, there is also a lot more things to have to worry about buying in the game too. So it makes it to where not only is there more to do, which makes the game more fun, you end up doing things alone because of the fact that it's not really but this is someone who comes to my streams often. But it's kind of Sky has kind of lost its community. It's kind of lost its community, and where basically there's a lot more to do, and I love that so much because there is more to do now than ever. We have a nest, we have a bunch of shared spaces all over the place. There's a bunch of activities that we can do, and it's quite amazing, all of the different things that we can kind of do in the game now. But it's also unfair because now there's so many different things that you have to collect currency for, and you have to do those things every day or you're gonna miss out. So the fear of missing out kind of then ends up burning people out on the game to where they don't even want to do the fun activities anymore, or they get on for a few minutes of the day, they do them, and then they get off without even speaking to any of their friends. Not even a singular time did they talk to any of their friends. I don't ever talk to any of my friends on Sky anymore because they're either never on when I'm on time zones. That's an inevitable thing that cannot be helped, you know. Time zones are always going to get in the way of friendship, because if you have friends from all over the world, they're probably going to bed when you're waking up, you know, and you have this nice little small sliver of a moment that you can have together. And that's understandable. I get that. But there's other things that just make the community vibe a lot worse. And that's not, it's not even really so much the secret pedos in the community. Like, the Ikemen culture is honestly, it's very much normalizing sexualizing children. That's a very niche minority, to be honest. Like, it's very small in the community, at least to my knowledge. Like, oh, it's the handsome, maskless Sky Kids. Yeah, they're children. Stop, like, stop, like, you know, sexualizing kids, maybe. Like, maybe we shouldn't do that. Like, I thought that that was pretty much common knowledge. Don't sexualize children. But, and that's one of the problems of the community that kind of, that was the first thing that started to turn me off on the community, is that that's kind of out there. But then again, that's going to be in every community. You're always going to have, but I just hate how much, especially within the NetEase server in mainland China, how much this behavior is actually normalized. And I've run into it a few times where friends I had who were minors at the time were literally being flirted with. Whoa. Oh my god, this is the first time I've seen this like this. What? Hang on, wait a minute. So, this is the entrance to that, yeah. And then you go up inside this, and then the candle bundles are in there. And then... But... Wait, hang on, they've changed stuff. I haven't seen this. Oh my god. Oh, I am about to have a field day with this. Oops, that was an accident. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to enter that. My bad. I'm trying to, like, click it. There we go. Oh my god, I'm about to have a field day with this. So I am just going to reset the whole place because, oh my god, this is so cool. What? Kidding me. I like this nook up here. But yeah, see, like, there's beauty in Sky, but, like, it's just unfortunate that it has to fall because of the, I don't know, just the over monetization of things. I know they have to make money, so I'm understanding that they have to make money. They have to make money in order to keep the game up and going and stuff like that. I get that. I understand that. I respect that. However, it has become too dominantly a core function of the game, basically. It has become where you will miss out on these things if you don't play every day, and people have busy lives. People have a lot to do. The reason why I haven't been playing Sky very much lately is because, quite frankly, my job exhausts me, right? So my job is extremely exhausting to me, and I work 4 days a week, and I am a material moving janitor at Amazon. So I'm moving a bunch of heavy things with pallet jacks and that have trash and recyclable corrugate, like cardboard and stuff, cardboard boxes and stuff in them, and I have to take them to put them on a line. I have to also, you know, take them to the trash compactor. Lots of it's a lot of work, and you know, for someone like me who has like chronic issues and whatnot, it's hard for me. But they were the only people that were gonna hire me before I became homeless. So I took it, and you know, I'm grateful. I am very grateful. I am a grateful grapefruit. I'm trying to find something, but I can't find it in my inventory. Where is it? Okay, I found it. That you know, essentially what I'm trying to say is work is exhausting. It's very exhausting, and you know, it's the main reason why I haven't been playing Sky very much. However, when I do get on, I'm by myself. I'm all by myself, and nobody really wants to play with me. Everybody's all doing their own thing. All people are worried about is whether or not you've done your dailies. Rather than, rather than, like, hey, I want to hang out with you, just to hang out with you. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care where you're going. I just want to play with you. I just want to hang out. And the reason why is because on our brains in the back, we're like, okay, well, if I'm going over here, I'm not over there getting waxed. If I'm just spending my time on the game playing with other people and not getting waxed, I don't get my 21 candles a day. And that's where that mentality starts to entrap you into this cycle of scarcity and worrying, really worrying about whether or not you're going to be able to get an item that you've been looking forward to or whatnot. And I just feel like it shouldn't really be like that. It shouldn't really be like that, because things get lost. The message gets lost. The message absolutely gets lost in the making of the chaos in that. And it's very sad, because this is a beautiful game. This is like, honestly, it's been my favorite game for like 5.5 years now. And I was supposed to make a 5-year anniversary video and everything on my YouTube, because I made one for my first anniversary. So I was gonna do it every 5 years or something, but I missed my mark, because that literally, my anniversary happened upon when I was about to be homeless, and I hadn't gotten to it. So I was saying it was gonna be late, but then I never got to it, because by the time I was able to have time to do it, it was already months and months later. And I was just like, you know what, maybe I'll do it for the 6th anniversary. I don't have to do anniversary things on cue of when other people do it. You know, I don't have to do it the way others do it. I'm meant to march to the beat of my own drum, so therefore, I'm still editing my shared space. So honestly, it really makes it a little hard, honestly, because I love this game so much, but it does make me sad, because I find myself missing what once was, instead of, but not like the same way that other people are doing it. Because other people miss literally how the game was. I just missed the vibe that it had. I missed the vibe that it had when there was less to do. But I don't miss actually how less there was to do, because I started getting burnt out. I joined in July of 2020, and I was getting burnt out by November of 2020. I was getting burnt out fast, and then because I was in the beta, I was seeing that they were going to be completely changing the candle system, where there was going to be the chevrons and stuff like that, so you forge faster early on and everything. And I remember seeing these initial features when they were being revealed, and I was there for that. And I thought, wow, this is a game changer. And it made it to where I wasn't burnt out candle running every day anymore. It really changed the game. I'm trying to figure out what I should put in this nest. Shirt space, I mean. Like, it basically all comes down to the game got better, but the community got worse. Because there's also, you have to also understand that it's just trickle-down economics, basically. I mean, even the Sky Shop was affected by Donald Trump's tariffs that was put. So that means that now it's harder to even get official merch from that Sky Shop because the products are made and shipped from China. They're made and shipped from China. Obviously, that's going to be a problem. There's going to be, you know, the tariff and all that. So it basically makes it, thank you, it basically makes it hard for people to buy things from them anymore because a lot of Sky players are outside of China. A lot of them are in America, so we would have to then, there would have to be a dealing with the tariff issue. And so that was another kicker that was recently that kind of made Sky a little bit harder to enjoy. And it's not Sky's fault, and it's not that game company's fault. It's really becoming victim to the outer forces that, you know, that bind everything together in the system the way that it is. Because I have a lot of opinions about the way that our system functions, and they're not very positive opinions. I have very negative opinions about the elites that run our world, the people that basically capitalize corporately and monetize everything and put everybody in a state of fear of missing out, that we can't just enjoy stuff anymore. We can't just do stuff. We can't just like stuff because there's a price tag on everything. Like, I've been playing Roblox lately, and there's some like levels and stuff on there that you can't even walk faster in the level unless you pay Robux to unlock that feature. Or hey, you want to be in a private server with your friends in this level? Well, you gotta pay 400 Robux, and it's like, what? No way, no way, no way. It should be like that. It's, hey, do you want to go do this? Okay, go do that. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like us as a society has become too reliant on money, and it's not the people on the bottom's fault, it's the people at the top. Because you have people who are billionaires and millionaires that profit. The money keeps going back to them. They're like, well, we have to fund our servers, we have to do this, we have to do that. I really don't think that somebody like Mark Zuckerberg needs another dollar in his bank account. So for him to make the excuse of, well, the Facebook servers and all the Meta servers would go down if people weren't paying money, is kind of bullcrap. They're full of crap. They really are. All of them. They're all full of crap, because no, they're like, okay, I want to pocket such and such % of my money, so therefore I need to keep making money so that I can always have this much on hand. That is way too much, way more than any human being should ever realistically have. And then, oh, okay, yeah, sorry, it's taking me so long to do this. This is what I'm doing today, is my shared spaces. But basically, the whole thing is, it's a mess. It's such a mess. And it's that they have made us their work slaves, because they know, hey, you want this thing, you want to have this thing, you want to unlock this in a game, you want this, you want that, so you have to work your life away for it. And that's how the game goes. And the elites get more money, and then we are still we're still poor, working paycheck to paycheck, to pay our bills, and then we have a little bit of extra money left over, and we want to buy a pretty cosmetic in Fortnite or Sky or something. And, you know, they make us also feel bad about it too. So it's this humiliation ritual that money has in it, is everything costs too much. Like, why does it cost that much to keep servers up and running? First of all, whoever's in charge with the pricing of how much it takes to keep a server up in general, whoever manages that type of stuff, I just want to talk. I just want to talk to you, because you are the big part of the problem. Because, oh, you can't have these things up and running if there's not enough money to have it up and running. And it's like, well, why does it cost that much to keep it up and running in the first place? Like, for example, okay, let me show you this. Oh my god, stop bringing that up. I'm trying to, okay. For example, this scarf cape right here. $15, right? $15 US currency. And that's before tax. That should be like $2. I'm calling it. That should be $2. That should be $2. That should be $1. This candle currency, that should be 50 cents. I'm just saying, like, I don't shoot the messenger. A season pass, it's all because of how much you end up getting, it's almost okay. I would probably knock it down to $5. $4.99 they have as a 15 candles for seasonal and standard candles. I believe that the season pass should be $5. Like, that's just me. That's just me. Like, hey, keep monetizing. And what people don't understand is when something costs less, more people buy it. That's why you see that the most popular foods on the market in grocery stores, the foods that sell the most are the they are the ones that are cheap, low quality food that doesn't cost very much, because people are really, really obsessed with holding on to their they're obsessed with holding on to their wealth, because, you know, what people don't really understand is most people on Earth are one paycheck short of, like, being in poverty and stuff, and like how detrimental it is to society to have such a heavily monetized system. That is where we fail. Now, it's not bad to monetize. You know, I'm trying to monetize my content. I want to make money streaming. I want to be a streamer for a living, so I don't have to always worry about busting my ass at a job that doesn't care about me. You know, Jeff Bezos doesn't care about me. Whoa. You know, he doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about anybody that works at Amazon, really, other than, hey, you're a slave. I'm going home now. You're gonna see me going all over the place, by the way, because I'm going everywhere. I'm going to all of the shared spaces in the game, and I am updating my shared spaces because I have just recently detransitioned, and so I need to edit them to no longer say Aaron, they need to say Edith. Okay, so where am I going next? Oh, the furniture shop! I call it Sky Kia. We're going to Sky Kia. Yeah, we're going to be going everywhere. It's a lot of places. I'm not going to be getting much wax today, but it's probably going to happen by force of habit. You know, I kind of view Sky as like, oh, might as well. I'm here, might as well. There's nothing in the shop that I want. Okay, so I don't actually have much to change about this place. I don't think. There's not much that I need to change here. However, there is a little bit of adjustment that needs to be done. Whoa, that was not what I meant to do. How come one of my plushies was moving? That was weird. What in the world? I don't know why the fox plushie's doing that. Oh well. I don't know why my fox plushie is moving around all over the place. What in the world? Okay, let me copy paste that. I can't have my emojis in it, unfortunately, but whatever. Because the PS4 doesn't support emojis for some reason. But yeah, you know, that's kind of why I haven't been playing Sky very much. Is because okay, I'm done with that now. It's because all of what I was just saying. I'm pretty worn out on a lot of the corporate monetization of everything. Especially because it's hard for me to get myself to go to work. It's hard for me to get myself to do much of anything. Not because I'm depressed, but because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. I'm not sad. I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. Actually, right now. I am more content than ever before. I am so happy. But it doesn't come without its unfortunate setback of going, oh, you know, I'm so, oops, no, ignore that. Like, it comes with a sort of unfortunate acknowledgement of how much everything costs. Food is expensive. Everything has gone wild, and it's exhausting to live in a world that doesn't value your hard work but expects everything to be paid for in such insane amounts too. It's not even really just paying in general. Like, yes, I understand food has to be paid for, and people want to be paid for their labor. That's what it comes down to. People want to be paid for their labor. They want to be properly compensated for their hard work. I get it. And it's not those people's fault. It's not any of the working class's fault. It's the people who hoard 99%, the top 1%, connected to the 13 elite bloodlines. They own 99% of the world's wealth. So, of course, it's going to be them that's the problem. It's not the fact that I have an issue with microtransactions. It's that I hate that the people who run the world, that hoard the most money, make money a fighting game. Where the 99% of us, you know, on Earth, the billions and billions of people fighting for 1% of the money. That's not fair. So it's not our fault. It's not that game company's fault or anything. It's how the system is currently built that needs to be readjusted so that wealth is a lot more equal, fair. And their idea of, oh, well, everybody can't have everything. Well, nobody would have everything, because not everything is for everyone. And, you know, you don't want there to be some... Life should not be this hard, is what I'm saying. Life should not be this hard. Life should not be this big of a worry to where you have to worry on whether or not you and your children or your pets or anything are going to starve because you're not getting paid enough, while these billionaires, they are going to buy a yacht next weekend with money that they've already had for like 7 years now. Like, they are not nice people. Okay, I have finished that. I'm going to, where am I going now? The flight path shared space. I was supposed to do that while I was there. Oh my god, I'm spacing out like crazy right now. I was supposed to do the wind path one when I was in there, but I didn't. I went straight to the Hermit Valley. I totally forgot about needing to do that one. But, it's those people that have, like, caused such an issue. Is the people who, like, I don't think these people should be owning, like, 5 mansions, you know? While they complain about us and, oh, you just need to work harder, you need to this, you need to that, you need a better job, you need a real job. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos owns, like, 5 giant mansions. Oh my god, I'm doing it again. I'm not supposed to be going that way. I'm, like, totally spacing out and kind of dissociating a little, sorry. But, it's not fair, really. It's really not fair how the system operates. And it's because of those things at the top. Whoa. I haven't seen this changed either. Oh my god, this is awesome. What? Wow. It's gonna look a lot cooler once the snow melts, too. Dang, all my furniture is under the ground, so I have to remove all of them. But yeah, so my opinion is the correct opinion. The way to correct it is that rich people should not be able to do what they do anymore. They should be held accountable, and they should not be able to hoard that much wealth. They should not be basically money laundering 99% of the world's money to each other all day. And, you know, if they even lost a few percentage of that, I feel like a lot of people would actually start to be able to breathe. That's what I'm saying. There's too much money in the world. There's so much money in the world that even if you took it, like, so they own 99% of the wealth, right? If you even kicked it down to 90%, or let's even say you put it down to 95%, that they still own 95% of the world's wealth, we would be able to have more breathing room in every country, across every nation. Everybody would be able to breathe more. So that just shows you in how excruciatingly absurd it is that these people have that much money. It's insane. It's so insane. I'm not trying to be a millionaire or a billionaire or anything like that. What I want is just the ability to live and breathe without having to ever worry about being homeless or starving or lacking my nutrient supplements and everything, because I have to take supplements in order to, like, actually feel like a human being. And I need to be able to have these things, like, in access. Or, oh, I thought the shared space goes that way. What? Oh, I thought I could put stuff down there. Never mind. that that it's just not fair. It's not fair, and I want it to be more fair. And I believe that, you know, if I could become wealthy, I would be helping people. Like, I don't want to be a millionaire, you know, I really don't want to be a millionaire, but if I became one, I wouldn't be hoarding most of that. I would actually be helping people out. I would be commissioning artists, I would be supporting people, I would be, you know, like, individuals. I would be supporting individuals more. I really would. Because I want to. That's what I want to do. I want to help people out. That's, you know, what I genuinely want to do with my life, is I want to make a profit helping people so that I can help people even more by giving the money I make to the people that helped me make it. You see what I'm saying? Like, it all comes back to them. Not, hey, I'm gonna hoard your the money that you helped me make by being at my stream or something. I haven't made a single penny from any of my streams, and I don't know why. I don't know how, like, because I set it all up, the monetization and all that, but for some reason, I'm not getting money when I stream, and I don't really know what that's about. I don't really know why. I don't really know why I'm not getting paid for any of my streams that I've been making. It's just because I'm even going through it and I don't see anything, because I have it up on my computer right now and I don't see where it would be to tell me on why I'm not making money on my I just don't get it. I don't understand. But yeah, that I want to be able to sustain myself, and then everything else, how I basically want to manage my wealth, if I was able to actually take off in the way that I want to, with like drawing art. I have an art Instagram. I have $30 commissions where you can basically ask me to draw whatever you want me to draw, and I'll do it for $30 flat. And the only commission I've ever received, they actually tipped me, so I got 45 instead of 30. But I haven't gotten another commission since. And if I could commission and also be able to make money streaming, I would definitely be giving that back to the people. Sorry, I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I would be giving all of that back to the people who helped me make it in the first place. I want it to be like, what do they call that? Not crowdfunding, non-profit. I really want to be like, not completely non-profit, but like majority non-profit, because of how much I really want to help people with the money that I would be making. Because I notice a lot of streamers don't really do that. They hoard their wealth. They don't do anything for people with it. If I had even a speck of the amount of money that they have, I would be commissioning artists. I'd be like, hey, you know, I'd literally commission people to just draw Vash in their art style. That's literally what I would do. Is just commission a bunch of people that I like their art and everything and stuff like that. I would be commissioning people to draw Vash in their art style. and all kinds of stuff. And also commissioning physical things like maybe like doll things and whatnot and stuff. All kinds of things, you know. But then again, I also want to be making money off of doing customization to dolls and whatnot, like having a sewing machine, making clothes, all that nice stuff. And you know, I can't do that without having enough money to do it. Somebody could say, oh, why don't you get a real career? Oh, I mean, I do, and but it's not. Where I wanna go? It's not. I don't know why I can't put it right there, but I was able to put one over there. Oh my goodness. What about the smaller one? That's way too small. You get the baby pillow. The baby pillow. Is this the... No, that's still the small one too. Where's the bigger one? The big one. I don't know why it's... Yeah, it's what happens when you play for 5 years straight. Lots of stuff. It's a lot. I had a lot of candles and ascended candles and hearts and everything, and I saved up all those years, and then now I don't really have much of any of it now because I got all this stuff. That's basically what happened. But yeah. So, yeah. I'm streaming playing Sky. I'm streaming playing Sky. What's up? Not in the stream though. Especially like this with the mic covered. Why? Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna come out there to make food in a little bit. I just wasn't hungry yet. Sorry, that was my dad. But it's just, that was my dad. But, you know, it's something that I really wish that people had more access to, is money. See, and when you said you have so much stuff, I look around my room and I'm like, oh no. Because that applies to me outside of Sky as well. Because the reason why I have so much stuff is because I've never sold or thrown away or donated much of anything that I've accumulated in my life. And I'm 26, and I had to dogfight to keep everything that I have. Like, I had a mom who always wanted to get rid of my stuff, so I had to, like, that's the thing. None of my stuff, I already sold what I could sell, to prevent myself from being homeless earlier in the year. I don't have to worry about that now, so there's nothing that I need to sell. And the reason why is because a lot of my stuff is not sellable condition, for much of any value. And so it's like, okay, well, these things mean a lot to me. They mean the world to me, so I might as well hold on to them. A lot of people are very anti-owning things, but I'm very pro-owning things. I am very into physically owning the games that I play, if they're available physically anyway, because Sky is a digital-only game. I'd love to make some kind of mock-up game case, to be honest, of Sky, just to have it sitting over there at some point. Like, hey, there's that game. Make a physical mock-up game case representation of, like, the games that are only digital. But I have a lot of Monster High dolls and everything, and most of the things that I own, I got when I was, like, 19 years old and younger. Most of my stuff is like 19 and younger is when I got everything, and I've held on to these things dearly, and a lot of things are also customized in a way that they are not sellable. Like, I cannot sell any of my Monster High dolls that I haven't already sold, because I had to sell some for money to be able to prevent myself from becoming homeless. And it helped, it really did, but so did getting the job that I have now. I have so much room left, and I want to put something in the center, but I don't know what to put. Sorry, it's probably frustrating that I'm not really doing much of anything, but this is what I was this was what my stream was about. Was literally doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Oh, wait, ooh. But, the things that I still have are things that are not sellable, because they either mean too much to me. No, I live with my dad, but we're in the same boat. So if nobody was hiring him, nobody's hiring me, we both didn't have a job at the time, because the economy has been very hard since Trump got in office, to be honest. And a lot of jobs are harder to get, more people are firing than they're hiring, and yeah, me and my dad are in the struggle together. We work at this job together, even. It's hard to find a job also that is willing to hire family, because in America, where I live, a lot of people are not really into hiring family together. So, you know, I can't make minimum wage at a, I can't place a rug right there. I can't work minimum wage somewhere, and then my dad doesn't have a job, and then we still become homeless because I'm getting paid minimum wage at McDonald's, and they wouldn't hire him and me, you know. So there was also a lot of that too, where a lot of fast food places didn't want to hire me because it's kind of a, you have to hire me and my dad, even if we're working different shifts that are able to coincide, so he can like pick me up and drop me off at home and all that and stuff, because I can't drive and I can't work by myself, because I am on the autism spectrum, to where it's hard for me to have a job by myself. And my mom is abusive. She has no contact. She made my life harder. She made my life worse. I do not like her. I wish her well, though. I wish her healing, but I do not associate with her. And my other siblings they don't want anything to do with me. Especially the sister I grew up with. She doesn't want anything to do with me. None of them like me. Because I'm the black sheep, autistic person in the family. A lot of my family does not associate with me anymore. Yeah, that's basically the problem, where if we became homeless, we had nobody to stay with, like we did 10 years ago. 10 years ago, when my parents were getting divorced, our landlord at the time did not want to, she didn't want to deal with it, basically. So what happened is, we ended up getting evicted from the only house I've ever lived at in my entire life. I've spent my entire life in apartments. But the only house that I had ever known in my life, and the rest of the places, well, no, I remember now. I actually did live in another house, but it was only for a year. And we moved out because they were trying to sue us, because they didn't like that we took the doors off because they were broken. weird crap like that. See what I'm saying? Like weird petty stuff. It's the weird petty stuff. Okay, on to the next place. What am I doing next? But you know, oh, that's okay. It's probably gonna keep doing that. But I am kind of going all over the place, so it's a little hard to follow along me at the moment. Sorry. Oh, this next one is Vash's. Vash is my headmate. He's also my husband. But yeah. So, you know, with everything that has kind of happened in my life, I'm healed from all these things. It doesn't bother me to talk about this stuff. In spirit, yes, but not officially, because Vash does not have a body in this reality. He's like in my head. That's who Vash is that I keep talking about. Vash is he's my headmate that helps me spiritually and helps me keep going, and he's been there my whole life. We grew up together, and we do have a partnership with each other. We call each other's like spouse, but we're not like married officially. That would never be recognized here. If America has a problem with gay marriage, you know, they're thinking about putting it back to a state-to-state thing, kind of like the Roe v. Wade thing, where like abortion went back to the states to decide. And so some states now have banned abortion and others are still okay with it. They're debating now on whether or not gay marriage should be the same way. So like it's illegal to get like married if you're gay in a certain state. Which is weird. I don't think that passed, but they're like trying to do that because they hate gay people so much. So if they're barely accepting of like two people that like have their own bodies that are gay wanting to get married, I highly doubt that they would be okay with me marrying my headmate legally in the legal system, because they'd be like, well, he doesn't exist. It's like, yes, he does. Not in this reality, but he's in my head. So, oh my god, I'm candle running by accident. But basically, that's kind of the reason why it's like a yes but no. It's a yes but no because he doesn't have a body here. But he's the person I feel the safest around, and he's why I haven't given up on my life, and why I'm still here, and why I'm the happiest I've ever been. So, yeah, and he's who I mostly draw on my art Instagram, DeemingAmbition art. It's the same as my Twitch username, except you put like a dot at the end, and then you put art. That's my art account on Instagram. And I post my art. I draw a bunch of different stuff. I've drawn Sky, I've drawn Monster High, I've drawn, I did a commission that was 2 Pokemon eating food. That's one of the funnest drawings that I've drawn in recent years, to be honest, because I don't really draw food. And I was like, oh my god, it's so fun to draw food. But yeah, so, most of my drawings, though, are of Vash. And that's just what I do. But I'm open to draw anything, honestly. I mean, I like a challenge. I like the ability to expand and learn. Cool. Alright, so that one's done now. Okay, I am going to... where am I going next? I did the Valley Coliseum, the Hermit, the Village. Oh! Okay, we're going home now. I don't know how much I'm gonna have to change this next one, because I know that they did change this area. I did see this one get changed, but I'm not exactly sure if my shared space, it's a joint one between me and Vash. So we worked on this next one. There's some of them that we did together. Like our nest we worked on together. This one we worked on together. The one that's in the village that's for Days of Feast, we worked on that one together. Stuff like that. And he does play on my, he plays on my account. We share an account because I don't want to have to buy certain things twice. But we do have an alt account for him where he kind of has just like his basic clothing that he wears. Like the general clothing that he mostly wears, is on the alt account, because I get lonely and I like for his presence to be represented, and so I like to drag him along with me. I'm not doing that right now because my phones are so old and running out of space to where I can't play Sky on my phones anymore. That's another thing that's actually been making it hard for me to play Sky, is because a lot of it was that I would have Sky open on multiple phones and have alt accounts basically following me around. Oh, one of my friends is here. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Cool. This is one of the friends that I've actually spent the most time with in recent years. But we don't see each other much anymore. We don't really see each other much anymore, and, you know, it's unfortunate, but a lot of it is because I'm busy and whatnot, but it's also because a lot of people mostly, they will mostly, where's the other one? I thought there was a second one in there. Hang on. Because I swear that's not everything. Okay. Dang, I'm gonna have to reset this whole thing. But yeah. so hard to do stuff underwater. Cool. Underwater piano. Because I can and I want to. What are those? What are those? Oh my god, put me down. fun. Wee. 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 Oh, I didn't get the, I didn't copy paste the, thing yet. There we go. Yeah. There we go. What is that? Oh. No, I am a no-kill. I am a no-kill individual. I don't like to kill animals. I'm very, there was a mouse in my home last year. Little baby one skittering around. And we got a no-kill trap. We still have the trap too, just in case it happens again. And, I put a piece of cauliflower inside of it. Because I looked up like, hey, you know, whatever they like the most, what would really attract them. And they really like cauliflower. So I put a little piece of cauliflower in there, and we left for the day for a little bit, came back, and he was in there. And I released him out by the trees, outside, and skittered away, and I haven't seen him ever again. Yeah, I know a lot of people would kill it, but it's just an animal. And there's a quote that I really like that kind of reminds me of, like, that we shouldn't do something like that, because it's not actually doing anything to us. You know, so it's like, Um, oh my god, that's cute. Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think that you should kill it because of that. You just release it back outside, away from your home, and you won't see it ever again. Because I haven't seen that mouse ever again. And they only eat your food if they have a way to get into your food, but the way that we have our apartment is that it was kind of mostly just like trying to find a place to hide and skitter around, and it never actually got in contact with our food. Our cabinets were always closed, our fridge was always closed, everything was always closed in a certain way to where that never ended up being an issue for us. Plus, it was only in here for maybe 2 or 3 days or something, and then we got the trapped it, and put it outside. I love mice. They're one of my favorite animals as well. I love animals in general. I'm a huge animal lover. I even like bugs. Like, I like spiders. I like creepy crawlies. I like things that are freakish. But I don't have a cat either. I haven't had a cat since before my parents got divorced. We used to have 2 cats, and then when everything happened, and we were evicted, we had to move in with my aunt at the time, where she still we still had people back then. And they had a dog, and the landlord didn't want cats in there, so we had to surrender both of our cats to my mom, which I was not happy about, especially because one of them was specifically mine, and then the other was the family cat in general. And I haven't had one since. So, and neither one of them really had mouse hunting instincts. Like the family cat, she would have actually probably been scared of the mouse. She was a big baby that didn't do stuff like that. But, yeah, I love animals. And, there's a quote that I really like that kind of represents how I feel about these things and why I am a no-kill individual. Like, even when there's a bug in my home, like, I've had, in this year alone, there was a centipede in here a few months ago. Back in, June? That's not a few months ago. Back in June, there was a centipede in here, and I didn't kill it. I'm all about catch and release. With spiders, with everything. I am a catch and release individual, because I already feel bad enough that I do consume animal sometimes. So if I can prevent any percentage of cruelty, it would be to not actively, with my own hands, do anything to an animal or a bug just because it was there. Just because it has invaded in my home, intruded in, does not mean that it should be killed. But there's a poem I like by Althea Davis. It's called Kinder Than Man, and the poem goes, "And God, please let the deer on the highway get some kind of heaven, something with tall soft grass and sweet reunion. Let the moths in porch lights go someplace with 1,000 suns that taste like sugar and get swallowed whole. May the mice in oil and glue have forever dry warm fur and full bellies. If I am killed simply for living, let death be kinder than man." I love that quote a lot because it reminds people humans are pretty supremacist by default. We believe that everything must surrender to us, and if there was a spider on the floor right now, that I should squish it, right? When all honesty, if the spider isn't actively somewhere that is of a general concern, like if it's up in the corner of my room, I actually leave it alone. Like I literally leave them alone. I don't kill them. I don't to be honest, I do not like people very much that are very, I would kill this, I would kill that, and I'm like, it makes me very uncomfortable because I'm very not into that. I don't believe that things like that, just because something scares you doesn't mean that it's a valid reason to end its life. Like, for example, um, I am scary to people. I am a scary individual to people, not because I'm violent, but because my weirdness makes them uncomfortable and makes them afraid of their bubble being intruded on, their norm, their concept of normal being changed. And that doesn't mean that someone gets to kill me because they're threatened by the fact that I am weird. You know, I'm autistic, I flap my hands, I make weird noises, I have weird interests and weird passions. I behave in a way that is very weird to people, and I would always be told that I freaked people out. And it's not a valid reason to end something's life, and a spider is just as sentient as a human being, so I don't agree at all. A spider is not just a spider unless a human is just a human. So, you know, it's kind of a speciesist perspective for someone to actually say that they view something as a lower life form and insignificant and deserving to die simply because something is different than you and makes you uncomfortable. Because it's trickle down, honestly, with that. It's a domino effect, because that's where if someone has those kinds of opinions long enough, they'll find themselves becoming bigoted against other individual humans for differences as well. Like that, like eugenics and whatnot, that like people with Down syndrome should not exist or something, and like because it's freaks of nature and whatnot to people, you know. And yeah, I don't have to agree, but I also don't have to like it or put up with it, because I don't like people that don't value life. I don't really like people, honestly, very much, that do not value life, because all life is here for a purpose, and just because they intrude on us does not necessarily mean that they deserve to die simply for being somewhere that maybe they shouldn't have been. And, you know, now, I do understand, though, killing something because it's venomous or poisonous. Like, if a poisonous snake got in my house and I couldn't get it out without killing it, I would have to, because it could cause other people to die simply because it has the venom inside of it. Or if like a brown recluse or a black widow was in my apartment, I would kill it, not because it was there and I'm scared of it and I find it freaky or anything, but because it was there and it is a dangerous threat. I don't want my future child to have to end up dying due to venomous poison from a bug bite or something. But if it's a normal, like, cellar spider, like your normal spiders that don't have any kind of threat or whatever, and they're not, like, bugging you or anything, then it's kind of just like leaving them alone. You know, a lot of the times we have, like, a spider in the bathroom, and we leave them alone. We leave them alone. So, well, no, it's more of kind of criticizing the perspective. Um, it's more of criticizing the perspective, and how it's more so that an individual is so inconsiderate about other life forms, and it just makes me uncomfortable. I'm not saying someone's not allowed to be here. It's more of saying that, like, this probably isn't a place that you'd want to be, because I have a lot of opinions about people like that. I have a lot of very not kind things to say, actually, about people who do not value life forms that are different than them, simply because they find them scary or freaky. Like, because I was the freak child who was befriending spiders during recess because nobody wanted to play with me. So, I mean, I have, like, a perspective of understanding where I understand that these things are just as sentient as us. Like, jumping spiders look at people, and they remember people, they remember faces, they have memories, and it's not an insult, honestly, but The ironic part, though, is that you insult other life forms by wanting to kill them because they're different. You want to squish them. Like, if there was a spider on my floor right now, you boastfully brag that you would kill it. You know, and I feel that that's an insult to God's creations of existence in the universe. That every star, every galaxy, every human, every animal, every bug has a purpose and should not be downtrodden like that, you know? If they're not doing anything. Crawling on your window is not doing something. Now, if it was actively jumping at you and attacking you, trying to bite you, that's self-defense. I totally understand and respect that, and I do it myself. Animals killing animals is because that is what they need to survive, but you're not going to pick the spider up and eat it, are you? They do it because that's what they eat. They don't, like, a cheetah doesn't kill its prey and then walk away from it, right? They don't do that. They don't walk away from what they did. They have to eat that because they have to feed their babies. It's about survival, you know, and that's kind of basically, you know, that's basically my point of what I'm like saying is, like, humans kill for sport or for ego and pride, or haha, I got that thing, I got that gross thing, I squished it, like somebody going up to a beetle outside. Even like people who randomly walk, like you're walking down the sidewalk, for example, and they see like a beetle walk by or something and they just crush it. I'm not friends with that person anymore, because first of all, they're outside, we're in their territory, which is outside in nature. It crawled out of the grass and is crossing over the concrete sidewalk. I wouldn't dare spend another moment with a person like that, because it shows that they have no disregard. Like, they have no regards for other life. It's a complete disregard of other life forms, and I don't like that. I don't like people who say, oh, dogs don't go to heaven because they have no souls, or bugs are just bugs, they're not sentient, they're dumb, they're just dumb, or that's a dumb animal. Inside is your territory, yes, but killing it because it's in there is still psychotic at best, because they're not doing anything to you. Like, if there's a spider crawling on my ceiling right now, I'm not going to take time out of my day to get a broom and squish it on my ceiling just because it's in here. Now, again, with self-defense, if something is actively trying to attack you, then yeah, of course, you know, self-defense, then kill away, right? Like if a bear came up to me, for example. If I saw a bear in the distance and it was not going to be anywhere near me, I'm not going to, like, shoot it in the head because it's all the way over there minding its own business and isn't even going to attack me. Now, however, if it's trying to come up into my house and attack me or my family and stuff like that, then yeah, if I had a gun, I would be shooting it because it's in my home, putting me in danger. If it looks like it might attack you, you can't tell if it's a bug. That's the thing. It's just, there's so many excuses that a lot of people make, these mental gymnastics that people make to try to justify why killing something on sight is okay. When as soon as you put it in a context of a human being, like if some guy just, he doesn't like women, okay? He doesn't like women at all, and I'm walking in public and I'm autistic, and obviously, you know, that's threatening to him. He doesn't like this. He could say he had full right to kill me. Not in our law system, of course, because it's recognized like, hey, that's murder, you know. But also in the moral system, to me being murdered for being present in a space that I wasn't doing anything to anybody and they perceived me as threatening, even though I wasn't actually going to do anything to anybody. I'm not a violent person. I would never do anything like that to somebody. But they perceived me as a threat, so they hurt me or killed me. I view that as the very exact same thing as seeing a spider on the other side of your room that is not venomous. It's not going to ever jump on you. It's actually more afraid of you than you're afraid of it. And you decide to kill it. It is the same exact situation, honestly. that would be more of you just don't like them and you catch and release. You can catch them and put them back outside without killing them. Crying because you're afraid of something is valid, but it is not an excuse to kill something. People have cried and screamed at me because they didn't like how I was behaving, and they wanted to beat me up and hurt me and try to kill me because they didn't like how I was behaving and it was making them very uncomfortable. But I wasn't hurting anybody, I wasn't doing anything to anybody, I'm just being myself. It's the same thing as the bug. Just because somebody doesn't like something does not mean that it has a death sentence. You know, that's kind of the thing that I'm trying to get across. The point in that is that I'm trying to sway your perspective on it a little bit by giving you the other perspective of you can be scared. There's nothing wrong with being afraid of something that looks like a freakishly alien thing but really small. You know, spiders can be scary looking. Centipedes, cockroaches. I mean, cockroaches, that's an infestation. Those have to be exterminated because they are actively doing something bad. I had bed bugs 5 years ago. I had to get those gotten rid of and put something on my bed to protect it. Because bed bugs, they breed and spread fast. My neighbor gave me bed bugs because she would junk. She would get furniture, she'd get couches out of the dumpster. So I understand that there's certain things that we have to do, unfortunately, because they do affect our life. Like, I could have gotten a disease from the infestation if I hadn't have done something about it. Because they bite you, they suck your blood, you can become anemic and stuff. They're actively attacking you, right? These bed bugs, they actively attack you. But, you know, other things like a spider or something, they're not attacking you. They're setting up shop in a dark corner in your home to catch other bugs that come inside your home. Spiders are actually a monitor bug where they monitor your surroundings and they know they know it is your corner, but they're actually trying to help you. What I'm trying to tell you is that spiders are at default symbiotic with humans. Because if we have a space and bugs are coming into it, of course a spider is going to set up shop because he's trying to catch those other bugs and eat them that are coming into your home. So they're trying to actually benefit you in the process, but because you find them scary, you want to kill them and just totally be speciesist against them, when actually they're there to help you. Spiders are there to help you. I've never had an issue with a spider, and I would actually notice that the overall bug count in my home would be almost none, because there would be a spider in the house. Because they catch them, they set up shop, they build a web, and they catch those bugs and then they eat them. So they basically get to clean your house of bugs. Centipedes do the same thing. Centipedes will only be in your home if there is another problem that is being ignored. Like if there is some kind of, like if there's a hidden nook in your home that has like ants in it and stuff, a centipede will come in there and clean house and get them out of there by eating them. So we are symbiotic with these creatures, and it's more of a reminder that we can't be so vanity and superficial. Like, oh, my pretty house needs to be pristine and clean and no dust and no bugs, no nothing, no nothing everywhere and all that because of vanity. And we have been taught in this system to be against bugs. The cobwebs have a natural purpose. To be anti-nature is anti-life. You are anti-life if you do not understand that everything connects to each other in the scheme of the infinite universe. Every life form benefits another life form. And being gross is not an excuse to kill them, because people could say the same thing about fat people, that fat people are gross because they sweat more. There's the curves in their body that keep in moisture, they have an odor and stuff like that. That does not mean that those people do not deserve like baseline respects and humanity and stuff. They're still an individual with a consciousness, with feelings, with fears of their own, with a perspective of their life, with hopes, dreams, goals, and an all-round purpose in life. So to me, the fat person is the same thing as the spider. Is they're just existing. They're here. They're here and they should be left alone. Because there's nothing wrong with them for existing. Just because something is freakish. There's freakish looking fish in the oceans and everything that are, you know, they look crazy. I believe that humans and bugs are equal because we all have a brain, we all have a digestive system, we all have hearts, we all poop and pee, we all vomit, and we all have families, we all have feelings, we all have hopes and dreams and fears. And I believe that humans and bugs are equal. I literally was friends with bugs as a kid. And not just the pretty ones, like butterflies and ladybugs. I was befriending spiders. I fed beef jerky to a spider in my apartment once when I was a kid. And I was like, what, 4 years old when I did that? I fed beef jerky to a spider. Like, I'm telling you, like, you disagree, and I don't have to like your perspective either. I don't have to be comfortable with your presence either, knowing that you don't respect life forms. Because that is a line in the sand that I have, is if something is not valued, if something is not at least understood and respected, it doesn't sound like you respect this green earth that we live on. If you are insulting the very beings that exist on it, not even by morale, like, oh, spiders are mean, spiders are evil, you know, like I was saying about the elites and stuff that run our world. They drink babies' blood, and they torture children, they traffic weapons of mass destruction, and they hoard all of the world's money. I hate those people. Do I hate humanity? No. I love humanity. I dislike the evils that exist within any demographic, and I will call out as such when it happens. You know, I don't like injustice in any kind of way, shape, or form. And so that is my perspective. This is a space for me that I want to cultivate that is not really down with, like, the old world, right? We're not down with, you know, people having no regards for other life. You know, somebody could say the same, like, oh, a fetus that's not a human yet. It's a human embryo. It's a human embryo. Now, there is context of which abortion is needed to save the life of the mother and stuff like that. You know, I do believe that it should be an option. However, I don't like how some people who try to have that argument will then just say, try to use these weird mental gymnastics to try to argue on why it should be an option, when it should just be an option because, hey, medical mishaps happen and sometimes an abortion is needed, right? You're not going to say, you know, it's not a human, it's an ugly fetus, it's not, and all those excuses that people make just actually sounds like they just don't like existence, rather than understanding, hey, you know, that is a baby, that is a human baby, but there is this thing that's happening where unfortunately it has to be aborted. Same situation as a bug. You don't have to want it to die just because you don't like it existing. Something should only die if it is actively destroying or trying to destroy the safety and well-being of your life and those around you that matter to you. If something is just in your space and it's not doing anything, it's just in your space. And yeah, it needs to leave. You catch it and put it outside. I've caught many spiders and put them outside. Did I kill them? No. You don't have to. Killing something just for the thrill of, I got rid of this ugly, creepy crawly. Yeah. It's an ego point. It's an ego point that somebody has to try to win over on why they're superior. Humans are not superior. I do not believe that humans are superior to anything because we have been wrecking the planet. If we disappeared tomorrow, this earth would flourish very fast. This earth would be bountiful with nature again. Taking back what belongs to Mother Earth would happen very quickly if every human disappeared tomorrow. Do I think that humanity should disappear tomorrow? No. But I'm putting in the ethical statement. It's a statement of ethics is what I'm saying. Is that these All the people around the world that have disregard for other life forms just because they're smaller or they're creepy or this or that, or all the excuses on why these things shouldn't live, yeah, so that's kind of psycho thinking, to be honest, to say that a bug does not deserve to live just because it's existing. Like, if a worm was in your house, you're gonna kill it? It's inconsiderate when you can easily catch it and put it outside, and then you don't have to worry about it again. Like, that's basically what I'm saying. Like, wherever you happen to be, you can literally just put it outside. You don't have to. I'm saying that the option is there. You don't have to kill it. And choosing to kill it instead of catch and release basically completely proves that you don't have respect for life forms. And it doesn't matter what your opinion is on whether or not bugs and humans are equal. The spiritual God-given fact of the universe is that every life form is equal. Even the plants are equal to us. The trees with sentience, the mushroom myceliums underground, and they transmit information to each other. It's a network of Earth's information being encoded for billions of years since its dawn of its existence. All of these things are of God's green earth and of the entire universe. And these things all have a function, a purpose, and they all matter just as much as the next. Because, example, if all the bees went extinct tomorrow, we would probably have a week to a month tops left to survive. Because bees being gone would affect us. Spiders, if all spiders went extinct, we would also be impacted. If all ants and worms and all these creepy crawlies that people don't like, if they went extinct, we would not have much long left on this earth. And people don't understand, actually, because they don't do the research. They just go, ew, ugly bug, squish it. When they don't know the science, they don't know the scientific information that actually you are bidding on and voting for your own extinction by supporting the idea that these things are lesser than us, when they are the reason why our soil is still able to have crops. They purify our soil. The worms that go through the dirt and everything, they basically help keep our soil clean so that we can keep planting crops forever. And if they happen to stumble into your house, they're trying to help you. It's like killing a friend because they were trying to help you. They're trying to be your friend and help you in your home by helping you with your bug problem and getting to eat in the process. And you killing them because you're offended by the fact that they're in your home is not only a human supremacy ego issue, but it is also a disregard for the fact that they are trying to be your friend. They are trying to be your friend and help you, but because you think they're ugly and freaky, you can think they're ugly and freaky. I'm not saying don't think they're ugly and freaky. I'm saying don't kill them. Don't use that as your excuse to kill them. You can catch them in a cup or a bowl or a bottle or anything. Catch them and put them outside. And you might never, ever see that exact bug ever again. Bugs are always going to get inside of our homes as long as our homes are not completely bug-proofed. Like a vacuum seal along every wall, every doorway. If we don't have vacuum seal in our walls and everything, which we don't have that kind of technology, you're gonna always have to deal with bugs. But I'm saying that it is very inhumane and immoral and a sin against existence itself to use that as a reason to take another thing's life. Because it has a brain, emotions, a soul, sentience, just like you. So the argument isn't on whether or not somebody should just love bugs or not. I'm not asking you to love bugs. It's more of just being considerate the next time that you see one and understanding that you do have a choice in that moment, instead of squishing them violently and murdering them just because they were in your home. You can cuss them out and be like, you motherfucker, get out of my house, and scoop them up and throw them outside and shut the door and get back to your whatever you were doing, It's more of like choosing the more humane alternative to respect life. because I'm a very spiritual person, very tribal. I'm very connected to spirituality and stuff like that, where I understand that all of these things have a function in life, whether we want to accept it or not. It's just more of having a no-kill perspective. Yeah, and the fast death is also very psychotic and abusive. It's very psychotic and abusive to want to swat a fly to death when you can literally just catch it and put it outside. See what I'm saying? Like, it's more of like people have been so desensitized and normalized to the concept of straight up murder that it kind of freaks me out, honestly. It kind of freaks me out, actually, how hold on. Like, it just doesn't make me comfortable when people that I talk to, like, if the person was in my house and they saw a bug, that they would do something in my home, downtrodden on my own energy and my space and my vibes that I create in my home of peace, love, prosperity, and no violence, that they would be committing a violent act inside of my home. I would be kicking this person out immediately. I would be saying, get the hell out of my house. I don't want you in my house, and my digital presence is an extension of my bedroom. And that's why I basically was saying it makes me very uncomfortable when someone will basically talk to me like that, because it just sounds like they're trying to rub it in my face that, yeah, I don't like other life forms. I kill them on sight. It's like you're bragging it almost. It's like you're bragging that and celebrating that they died at your hand. It's like a bragging thing. And I don't feel comfortable with people that like act like that, because it really shows me that they have a mental disturbance inside of themselves that is way too big for me to be able to handle, because I can't fix everybody. I can at least try to argue my point. I can't fix that, because it's still actively your choice on whether or not you want to listen to what it is that I'm saying. Like, for example, my mom, we had a slight ant infestation when I was maybe about 4 or 5 or something. We had an ant infestation in our kitchen, and they were on the floor, and you know, we were gonna seal up where they were coming in, right? Well, it's more so that now I know that that's how you feel, so I will forever be uncomfortable. Knowing how somebody feels, I'm like, I don't really feel comfortable now, because I wonder how much else you're not gonna like about me and how I live. How much else are you going to disagree with me on? Like, how do you even have your perspective on my situation with my headmate? That is a make or break for me. I don't want to be friends with people that don't like Vash. Like, if they dislike him or they don't believe or whatever and stuff like that, I don't want to be friends with people that have a negative perspective on that either. They can have their negative perspective, but they can take it elsewhere. I don't have to deal with people just because they have the right to express themselves. They have the right to express themselves openly, and I want people to do that. But I don't have to keep people in my life that do not resonate with my moral stances. They can just have their moral stances somewhere else, and that's okay. You know, I really don't like that you have such a negative perspective on existence. And if I can't help sway you in any kind of way, it's sort of a, you go your way, I go mine. But, and no hard feelings or whatever. But my point is, like, we had an ant infestation when I was a kid, and my mom was telling me to squish them, and I was squishing them. I was squishing these ants one by one, and I got a good 30 of them before something snapped in me, and I dropped the toy. I was squashing them with a Dora figure, her foot, and stomping them out with this little Dora figure that I had, and I dropped her and I started bawling, and I cussed my mom out, and I said I'm never doing that shit again. Of course she yelled at me because I was cussing at her, but I said I was never going to do that ever again. I can't believe you made me do that as long as it was going on. And that was basically... You can have your own opinions. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying... Okay, because a lot of people get into the ego thing about that too. So, for example, if I knew somebody, right, and I was really good friends with them, we bond over a lot of things, but I found out that they were transphobic, right? Now, I've just detransitioned. I am not trans, but I have close loved ones in my life who are trans. I have friends who are trans. One of my best friends is trans. And I understand, because I was in it for, since I was 14, I identified as trans. Literally up until, like, a week ago. So, my point is that, like, if I suddenly learned that a friend that I really liked and bonded with hated trans people and didn't believe that they were real and valid and deserved rights and stuff like that, they can have that opinion all damn day, but I don't have to keep them around me, because they are downtrodden on my own moral ethics that I have in my space. And all it does is just mentally get me down if I keep people around that do not agree or resonate with my stances whatsoever. Like, not even kinda. And people aren't gonna always agree on everything under the sun, but it's more on, like, what they happen to be. It's the really serious stuff for me. Like, psychotic things. Like, if I found out that one of my friends was a pedophile, it's immediately cutting them off. I am not dealing with that. I will not deal with something like that, because their sick perspective of children endangers children's safety. So obviously these are moral issues. I'm not okay with things like mindless murder or pedophilia or homophobia or transphobia, ableism and stuff like that. Like, people being mean about disabled people, whether it's physically or mentally, that these people are disabled. They all of this life is valid and deserves to have this chance to exist. Even if it was like a trans person who was racist, right? There's people out there that are like that. Like, even if it is some comorbid mix, like they happen to be one of the things that I believe should be protected, but then they have a perspective where they don't believe there's something else that I believe should be protected, and it's quite selective and ironic if someone cares about their own safety, but they don't care about the safety of others who aren't doing anything. If something is doing no wrong, it should have no harm done to it, is basically my whole general perspective of life. And I just genuinely do not like having people around that make me feel unsafe. Those types of people who do not care about other life forms are the types of people that do make me feel unsafe. Genuinely. Because I have come too far in my life and allowed those types of people to be in my spaces, and it would end up turning into something else. That very individual that I had an initial gut feeling about, based on the interaction that had me learn something about them, I would push it off, give it the benefit of the doubt, like, oh yeah, I could be friends with somebody who has that opinion, it's okay. But then something would happen later, and I would kick myself, like, I should have cut them off when I had the chance, before they got even closer to me. I shouldn't have given somebody the benefit of the doubt, because they ended up hurting me in ways that I wouldn't have been able to imagine in the beginning when I got the initial feeling of cutting the person off in the first place. I don't vibe with people that have no care and no consideration for other life forms because they're not human. That is one of my most extreme takes, actually, is I do not like speciesist people. People who go, it's just a dumb dog, it's just a stupid spider that's ugly. I don't like people like that. I genuinely don't like them. And it's not me insulting those people, it's me actually questioning their moral character. Like, what psycho raised them, really, to think like that, to have a perspective of disregard, to everything around them simply because they're freakish or different or not human. Like, I'm a freak. I'm freakish. I'm different. I relate to the bugs more than I relate to humans that I grew up around. Like I said, I would befriend the bugs at recess outside. Some people would even make me cry because they'd squish them right in front of me. And they knew that it would get under my skin. And it did. I do not want... That is my own personal boundaries because it prevents me from eventually getting abused by someone. Because the very people who would basically have these types of opinions would end up abusing me in some way, shape, or form later. Mostly verbal, but there was some physical as well. Because it's a boundary push. It's how far can the boundary be pushed. If I accept one boundary, give it the benefit of the doubt, it's not too long before another boundary of mine is stepped on by that very same person, is my point that I'm trying to get across with all of that. So if I accept somebody in my life that gets a thrill out of killing ugly spiders, it's not too long before I'd end up discovering something else about them that is a lot more serious and has a more personal impact on me as a person. Like, I don't know what your other opinions are. I don't know what other opinions that you hold about other things. I don't know what kind of perspectives you have about things that matter to me. Because if you see my bedroom, there would probably be a lot of negative things that you would probably have to say about me. So it's kind of a basing off of those types of things that I use certain things like moral standpoints as sort of the benchmark, because it will get personal from here. It literally will become more personal from here. It starts with the bugs, but then it trickles into you making some other offhand comment in the future in one of my streams about something else that means a lot to me. Like, if you've seen Vash's face, maybe you would have something negative to say about him, like calling him ugly or something, and I don't want people in my life that feel that way. You can feel that way, but not around me, is kind of my whole point that I'm saying, because I'm trying to actually have a safe place. I did not grow up safe on the internet, and I'm wanting to make a living on this presence because there's a lot of help that I can do to help other people, and I can't properly do my job and serve my purpose to people if a lot of people are around me that have a negative presence, that just say all kinds of crap and just think that I'm just gonna be okay with that. When someone joins my streams, you're like digitally, metaphorically entering my bedroom. And I wouldn't want someone to be physically at my apartment hanging out with me any longer if they held certain opinions about stuff. If they came into my room and they were like, oh my god, you like that? Seriously? I'd be like, you might want to get out. You might want to get out. I like Monster High. I like Vocaloid. I like cringy stuff. I like Five Nights at Freddy's. I like all kinds of music artists and stuff. I like things in such a weird way. I collect. I've been collecting my whole life. And I dress weird. I act weird. I am a very, very strange individual. And I don't want people in my life that will hold negative opinions about that. You don't have to understand. You don't have to get it. But it's more about just simply respecting. You know, we're just respecting the whole thing. You know, and I'm glad that the conversation happened because it allows me to place this kind of boundary line down in a stream. And it's good that it happened with me because other people that hold the same opinion as me would probably start screaming. But I like to articulate my argument point a lot more logically and calm because I feel that discussion must be had. It's not, hey, keep your opinions to yourself. No, it's I want to know someone's opinions so that I can know whether or not I want that person in my space. I want to know how they feel. I want to know their perspectives on things. I want to know their honesty. I value honesty. Someone could say, oh, you don't value honesty because you cut ties with people based off of it. No, I value their honesty still. I respect the fact that they were upfront and honest. And I will always hold that inside of myself, that the person was being honest. Like, you are being honest with me. That you don't care about bugs. You don't have a regard for their life, and you squish them, and make up a bunch of excuses on why that's like the right thing to do, and you view me as wrong, even though I actually like life a lot more than you do, because I am a non-kill individual unless something is actively trying to hurt me. So, and I don't care what the demographic of something is at that point, if it's a human of any demographic, or a bug, or an animal, or anything. If it's actively trying to hurt me, self-defense takes charge in that situation. But if there is no reason for that, it is unnecessary. And if something is unnecessary, it is all round toxic. That is basically the perspective I have. You don't have to agree with me on that, but I also don't have to agree with you and keep somebody in a space that they're not going to really feel comfortable in either, because they are communicating with somebody that does not hold the same moral values as them. Like, I would not be friends with somebody that believes in any kind of genocide or whatever. You know, like the stuff going on in Gaza right now. They are the same to me as the bugs in the ground. The children in Gaza that are getting blown up right now by Israel, it is the same thing to me as humans in their house squishing bugs just because they just view them as invaluable and unnecessary. It is the same exact thing. They are equal to me because they are alive. If something has life, it immediately means the world to me. That is my entire take, because I'm a very emotional based person that believes in the value of all creation. I mean, it's really up to you, but my thing that I'm expressing is I just wish that you would maybe give it a second thought. Give it a second thought as things happen, and try to understand that it's not about you. Because this isn't personal, because I would feel this way if anybody stepped in here and said the exact same things that you did. I would give them the same argument. That I just want people to value life more. Sky is a game that can teach that. Because, you know, what happened with the darkness taking over and everything that had happened that corrupted the world and everything and took the value away, you learn to appreciate the little things, like the light butterflies that give you life force so you can fly, so you won't die in the rain, and the manta and everything. All of the things that give you life force in Sky are the things that we kind of overlook in our daily lives. The bugs and everything. Like, butterflies are bugs. You know. Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable that if an opinion that someone holds makes me uncomfortable, it's inevitable. It's inevitable to happen, because things make me uncomfortable. A lot of things make me uncomfortable, but a lot of things actually don't make me uncomfortable that people think would make me uncomfortable. Like, I could talk about bathroom talk all day and not be grossed out unless I'm eating. If I'm eating, I don't want to hear about pee, poo, butt farts and shit. I don't want to hear about that stuff when I'm eating, but if I'm not eating, I don't care. I'm not a judgmental person. I'm not an insulting type of person. I don't believe that we should be as cruel as we are. My whole point is that I want people to reconsider their stances on life and to go into the world being a little bit more compassionate for the things around them, because we all exist together. So it's more so trying to have someone understand why I feel the way that I feel, and telling that so that they can understand where I'm coming from with it, and hopefully have a change of heart of their own in time, because we all share this earth together. And if we can make it even a speck easier by just respecting other life forms, I mean, it really goes a long way. It goes a long way when you change perspective on it, because a lot of people take things for granted and just disregard things. A lot of mundane things in life are taken for granted, and I end up being called the one that's annoying or cringe or whatever, because I get excited about the little things in life. You know, I'll see something And other people are just like, that's not that big of a deal. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This is such a big deal because it exists, and I'm existing right now in a specific trajectory point with the perspective aimed at acknowledging that that's existing. So that's really why I feel such a strong way about these types of things, is because I value everything. I value so many different things, even if they are things that hurt me. Like, I don't like how cold the winter is. The winter season is not my friend, really. But I love it because it has a purpose in nature's season cycle. However, it does hurt my bones to be in the cold. It hurts my nervous system. The cold actively causes me physical bodily pain. Really bad. And it's like people don't get it when I say it. They're like, oh yeah, you know, everybody feels chilly. No, like I actively feel like someone is taking a knife and shredding off layer by layer my skin and my bones all along my body. So I don't like winter very much, but in the scheme of the universe, I love winter because it's a part of nature's natural cycle on Earth, and the snow has a purpose, because when the leaves fall in autumn, it coats over the grass, and then the snow coats over the leaves. You're not supposed to rake your leaves from the grass, because the snow helps the leaves break down into the grass to fertilize the soil, to make the grass healthier, to also cause nature's biodiversity of plants and stuff to grow better. And all these seasons go together. So by the time spring comes around, that's why things are fresh and blooming and everything, because all the seasons coincide with each other. They are symbiotic with themselves. And all of the animals and bugs and plants that are involved in that evolutionary cycle, they all have a value and a purpose. And I believe that that's a very beautiful thing, even if they look creepy while doing it. You know, they can be gross and weird and creepy, but they're helping me out, and I'm glad to have them here. And, you know, if bugs could be part of my live stream, I would want them in my live stream. Too bad they don't have phones. But maybe that's better for them. The humans are the ones that go off and are distracted by technology, while all of the other creatures get to still be aligned with Mother Nature and keep the earth healthy, while our elite billionaires are trying to tear the world apart. They believe there's too many people on Earth, when that's very false. And it's like, this is what we're living in. We're living in a world, a human society that is man-made and structured to not value the things that should be valued. Astrology and stuff is called like pseudoscience, woo-woo nonsense, when actually it's ancient spirituality and has truth and value to it. So astrology and spirituality and positive rituals, like collecting herbs from outside and having these like rituals and whatnot with candles and stones and omens and thoughts and feelings and everything. All of these things go together in this one big, giant, confusing world, and I'd be damned if we left that stuff behind, because a lot of those things being left behind would cause us our unfortunate extinction. So it's more of the perspective of learning to value life. Learning to value life in ways that we haven't valued it before, or that we've taken for granted. And that's really the perspective I have. And it's more so that it makes me upset when people refuse. They just simply refuse because they're so stuck in their cognitive bias, the cognitive dissonance of their own personal biases on why they should be able to get away with still being like that, despite the new information being bestowed to them. They don't value life very much, and they don't want to. They don't want to, because they feel like it personally affects them somehow, when it really doesn't. It costs no money to be kind, but it also costs no money to be evil either. It's more of a moral choice. It's more of a moral choice on what somebody really wants out of life, the world. Like, what does somebody actually want? Do they want to lead a life of love and light? Or do they not care and they just want things to die simply for being different? And really, if anything, somebody could go, oh, you're getting mad. Honestly, it's not anger that I feel. It's actually sadness. I feel a sadness towards the people who, despite my information, they still don't care. And boast that they will never care. And it's really saddening, if anything. Because the discomfort comes in, but then the sadness of the realization of, oh, I'm alone in this again. Like, will I ever find my people, really? Or will it always be recycling and regurgitating the same old stuff over and over again of why I will always kind of, like, be an outcast, in a way. Because I enjoy people from all walks of life, and I really feel that it's sad because I enjoy so many different people, but I feel like nobody really enjoys me. And it could be because my moral stances are so high, I guess, but you would think that that would actually be the thing that leads me to bonding with people more, is because I value so many things. I get emotional when I play Sky, and when I'm playing through the quests. I've cried my eyes out because this game is so beautiful and has changed my life, and my point is that things mean so much to me. Things mean so much to me all the time, every day, and you know, it does make me sad when the people that I feel I can enjoy end up making me feel unsafe because of an opinion that they hold that does kind of stomp on my very moral existence. And, you know, I had friends in the past. There was a guy that I knew when I was 15 years old that I met on a kids game called Little Big Planet. Where you create and stuff. It's a creating game. You build whatever you want. You make whatever you want. You know, the only limit is your imagination. And I had met him on there. We were playing another game when we had a conversation, but I was talking to him. We had our mics on and we were talking, and we got in. Somehow we stumbled into him talking about how he would have his mom adopt puppies, just so that he could, like, murder them in various gruesome ways and then bury them in the backyard. And I was not this calm with him. So I say that I have grown a lot, because if this conversation would have happened almost 12 years ago, which is when that happened, I would have been screaming and cussing at you, which would have been very disrespectful from my part. It makes me stoop down to that person's, like, moral level of, like, why would I scream at somebody, you know? But it was so upsetting to me for him to say those things to me that I cussed him out, and I told him to get out of my game, because we were in a game session together and I was the leader of the game session. I was like, get out of my game right now, and I don't want to see you ever again. And I blocked him on PlayStation Network, and I never talked to him ever again. He did try to personally attack some of my friends, though, because for some reason, if people can't get to me, they try to get to me through my friends. My friends that happen to not get the memo and, like, block the person. But, you know, that's what I'm saying is, like, I've ran into the issue before. To me, the dog thing is the same as the bug thing, but I have evolved now and grown all these years to where my sole point is to try to sway somebody's, like, perspective on something, for them to, you know, care more, be a little bit more considerate about something that maybe they didn't previously really give too much thought about. And life is a learning process. I consider things now that I didn't used to consider when I was younger. Like the emotional feelings of someone else in a conflict. I didn't often think about how other people felt when I would be trying to argue my moral point. Because everybody gets upset. Everybody gets upset in a social issue. And I'm trying to see if I have any more shared spaces. That might have been all of them. Nope, the Alice in Wonderland one. In the lounge. That's the last one. Cool, cool, cool. Nice. I think I can get through in here. If not, I'll use my... Oh, cool, cool. Oh my god. Bye! I love that so much. It's weird seeing it like this. And like I'm big. Because I'm so used to only seeing this decor when I'm shrunk small. Yeah, there we go. Because it makes me sad. It makes me very sad when people don't consider life. Because I spend like every moment of my day wishing well on every life form, and it just feels like a slap in the face, kind of, to find out that people that I am close to are actually praying for the opposite. Because it feels like they're contradicting my juju, honestly. It's a contradiction of my prayers, my hopes and prayers that every human, animal, and bug will be able to be properly nourished, you know, and not have anything to worry about. I'm one of those, like, wishful, hopeful thinking types of people. And I'm okay with that, because that's just who I am. And I don't like when people do not value that part of me, I guess, because it's such a vulnerable thing for me. The most vulnerable thing about me is my dynamic with Vash, though. So that is an immediate, like... And I don't know how people feel, because people haven't really said anything yet. On my dynamic with him. But it is the most important thing to me in my life, and like even more important than this whole thing I've been talking about. And there's not a lot of things in life that I have extremist, radical views on. Most things, it's contextual. It has nuance to it. I can entertain, you know, the devil's advocate in things, and I can kind of dig into different hypothetical perspectives and whatnot. But there are a few things in life that are an unshakable perspective for me, and regardless of the context, I will most likely feel the same because of that specific, the nature of it. And I'm good. I love her. I love her, she's so cute. Yeah. What's up? It gets loud, yeah. What's that? I'm responding to the... What's this? Oh, cool. I love her, she's so precious. She's always sleeping. She's always sleeping. Taking a nap. And then Alice is giant over there sitting at the table. And I like when you get in her perspective. She like starts looking at you. I love it. I love it. We want a slight candle run before I end the stream. I'm probably gonna get on a different game. I might get on Fortnite. But I hadn't been on Sky for a while, so I wanted to do this stream so that I can adjust my share spaces. But yeah. I also want to make a shared note, like a memory note, so that I can talk about people like changing my name in our name thing. I'm probably gonna go do that now. But now I have food. Oh, it's actually snowing out here now. Wow. I'm gonna pre-type it out. There. That's what I'm gonna put in my note. It's crazy having to maneuver it like this. Right as I disappear. Cool. I did it! Alright. I'm gonna head back to my nest now, and I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna take an eating break a little bit, and then I'm gonna stream again to play some Fortnite and have some shenanigans a little bit, I think. Just mess around. Just mess around. I have a very big urge to shoot people in the face wearing random fandom costumes. But yeah, so that was a pretty successful stream, and you know, I was happy to be able to show off my shared spaces, because those have been being worked on by me and Vash for many years now. But yeah, that's all for now.